Good morning, everyone. We are here to present our presentation, but before that, we would like to introduce ourselves. I am Angeline Sagario, the host for the day. Next is Lovely Kate Borgenso, the first reader, and the second reader are Celia Mark Gerald. The third reader is Halasan Pfizer. So, I be the one to read the sequence of program and the objectives. So, opening prayer, Mr. Pfizer Halasan. Reading of the objective, Miss Angeline R. Sagario. First reader, Miss Lovely Kate Borgenso. Second reader, Mark Gerald S. Arcelia. And third reader, Mr. Pfizer Halasan. Discussion is Sir Paulino R. Tagailo. Realization, Miss Lovely Kate Borgenso. And the closing prayer, Mr. Pfizer Halasan. And the host master MC, Angeline R. Sagario. So, our topic is personalities and questions document examination. Objectives: cognitive, understanding the principles and methodologies of question document examination, including analyzing handwriting, paper, ink, and other physical characteristics to determine authenticity or forgery. Psychomotor, developing the practical skills required for document examinations such as the ability to conduct microscopic analysis, perform ink dating tests, and use various forensic tools and techniques. Affective, utilize ink dating methods and chemical analysis tools to determine the age and authenticity of ink entries of documents. So, Albert Sherman Osborne, he was considered as a father of scientific examination or question document. The first American prominent in the field of forgery detection and author of seminal question documents in 1910, reprinted many times, and exhaustive work indispensable even today. By his efforts, courts began to accept the presentation of forged documents scientific evidence. He founded the American Society of Question Document Examiners on September 2, 1942. May I call on Lovely Kate Borgenso, the first reader.
Sir Albert D. Osborne. He was the third president of the American Society of Question Document Examiner. Mr. Osborne served in the military during World War. Upon returning 5 August 1919, he began attending the meetings that eventually lead to the formation of the ESQDE in 1942. Mr. Osborne was one of the 15 men who founded the society. He was the son of the founding president of ESQDE, Albert S. Osborne, and was associated with Osborne in private practice for many years. Osborne's son, Paul Osborne, and Russell Osborne both became examiners of question documents, as did his grandson, John P. Osborne. Then, among Mr. Osborne's many high-profile cases, he was one of 8 document examiners who testified for the prosecution in the case against Braun Hoffman in the kidnapping murder of the Lindbergh baby. Mr. Osborne was author of the book Question Document, Problem with His Father. He was also the author of many professional papers. So, B.G. Vreeland Haring and J. Howard Haring, the father and son Haring of New York, were the world-famous handwriting expert who testified on Charles E. Lindbergh Jr. kidnapping case. The defendant to the case was Bruno Richard Hoffman, Flemington, New Jersey, in 1935. 14 letters were directed to the famous parents of the kidnapped Lindbergh baby was abducted. The other letter contained follow-up ransom demand and instruction. G. Newton Baker, a consultative expert in disputed documents, in 1955, he authored the book Law of Disputed and Forged Documents.
So, thank you, the first reader. May I call on the second reader, Mr. Mark Gerald Arcelia.
James B.P. Conway. He was an examiner of question document of San Francisco, California Postal Inspector in charge. San Francisco Identification Laboratory, U.S. Inspection Service, and authored evidential documents, which was published in Springfield, Illinois, USA in 1959. Hans Ketche is Hans Jaegert in 1876 to 1944, a doctor of law and director of the Identification Bureau of the Police Department of Berlin until 1928. He was a criminology professor at the University of Berlin in 1920 and a well-known handwriting expert. Dr. Wilson R. Harrison was the director of the British government's Home Office Forensic Science Society of Question Document Examiners. He authored the book Suspect Document Examiners, Their Scientific Examination, first published in London in 1958. He had over 20 years experience in the examination of suspect documents for the police forces of England and Wales and for many government departments.
Thank you, second reader. May I call on the third reader, Mr. Faizer Halasan.
Roy A. Hubbard was the 24th president of the American Society of Question Document Examiners. After joining the Royal Canadian Mounted Police in 1940, Roy Hubbard worked at a police constable at various detachments in the province of Saskatchewan. In 1949, he transferred to the document section of the RCP Regional Laboratory of Cummins, a career that would span more than 50 years. Under the tutelage of senior document examiners Hugh Radcliffe and Chester Aves, Mr. Hubbard completed his training program and moved to the RCP's Eastern Laboratory in Ottawa. He wrote, presented more than 30 papers, including such titles as Typist Identification, Model Trained in Counterfeiting, the Production and Identification of Embossing Cells, and the Quandary or Qualified Opinion in 1999. He published a book entitled Handwriting Identification, Facts and Fundamentals, which has become important text in the training of forensic document examination. The first question document examination conference he attended was the 1955 meeting that was held in Houston. Charles Chabot, baptized March 19, 1815. October 15, 1982 was an English graphologist who, as part of the firm of Niederschleife, Chabot and Matheson, was an early practitioner of question document examination. Chabot was born Battersea, the son of Charles lithographer and Emily Person, a couple of Huguenot descent. Beginning as lithographer, he developed as an expert in handwriting and became sought after as an expert witness a variety of famous trials, including the Tropile case and the Clickbone case. In 1871, Chabot became involved in establishing the identity of Junius and conclude that he was Sir Philip Francis. This is the picture of Charles Jabot.
Last na. Last na.
The last personalities in question document is Audrey Helton. So was the 6th president of the American Society of Question Document Examiners. Mr. Helton was born 1913 and grew up in Evanston, Illinois. He majored in mathematics at Northwestern University and received a master's degree in statistics from same university in 1937. So, Mr. Helton was the first question document examiner and the new crime laboratory of the Chicago Police Department in 1944 was still on active duty as an officer in the U.S. and Navy during World War II. He attended the second meeting of the ESQDA in the Montclair, New Jersey home of Albert S. Osborne. In 1946, Mr. Helton became associated with Elbridge Steen, the first secretary of the ESQDA. In his private practice in New York City, he continued the practice alone when Mr. Steen retired in 1951. In 1979, Mr. Helton moved his practice to Landrum, South Carolina. A prolific writer of journal articles and professional papers, Mr. Helton authored one of the best-known texts in the field, Scientific Examination of Question Document, in 1956 and a revised edition of the text in 1982. He also authored Detecting and Deciphering Erased Pencil Writing. Mr. Helton was a diplomat of the American Board of Forensic Document Examiner. He was instrumental in establishing the Question Document section of the American Academy of Forensic Science. From 1959 to 1960, Mr. Helton served as the 10th president of the EFS. He is one of the few EFS fellows to be named a distinguished fellow and one of only 4 question document examiners to ever receive this honor. In 1980, he was the first recipient of the EFS Question Document Section Award, which would be named in his honor. Audrey Helton passed away in 1998. So these are this is a picture of Audrey Helton. So the realization. So in the realization of our topic, personalities in application document. So these personalities like Rehoboth or sa represent a diverse range of expertise and contribution to question document examination, highlighting its importance in forensic science and criminal justice. Their work has not only advanced the field's methodologies and technique, but also enhanced its credibility as a crucial tool in legal proceeding and law enforcement investigation. Furthermore, these experts have helped uncover crucial evidence, identify forgeries, and establish the authenticity of documents crucial to legal proceeding, like in cases such as the Lindbergh BB kidnapping by B.G. Vreeland Haring and G. Howard Haring, demonstrate the significant impact of question document examination on the outcome of criminal trials and the pursuit of justice. Their efforts have not only elevated the practice of question document examination, but also fostered a community of experts dedicated to upholding the integrity and reliability of document analysis in forensic science and criminal justice. In essence, the diverse expertise and contribution of these personalities collectively highlight the vital role of question document examination in unraveling mysteries, solving crimes, and ensuring fairness and accountability within legal system worldwide. Their legacies continue to inspire current and future generation of document examiners, enriching the field with innovation, integrity, and excellence. So, again, so these are the trivia. Number 1. Who was considered the father of scientific examination in the field of question document examination? So the choices: E. Albert D. Osborne, B. Roy E. Hoover, C. Albert Sherman Osborne, D. Audrey Helton. The answer is Albert Sherman Osborne. The next is, which question document examine authorized the book handwriting, identification fact, and fundamentals? The choices: E. Albert D. Osborne, B. G. Newton Baker, C. Roy E. Hoover, D. Charles Chabot. The answer is Roy E. Hoover sa letter C.
Next,
Who was instrumental in establishing the question document section of the American Academy of Forensic Science? A. Hans Skirt, B. Dr. Wilson R. Harrison, C. Ordway Hilton, B. J. Breland Harry. The answer is C. Ordway Hilton.
Okay, next. Dua naman ka.
Which question document examiner was one of the 8 document examiner who testified for the prosecution in the Lindbergh baby kidnapping or murder case? A. J. Newton Baker, B. Albert D. Osborne, C. James V.P. Conway, D. Charles Chabot. The answer is B. Albert D. Osborne.
Ito na, dua. Nay, dua.
that's all our presentation, and thank you for
So, listening.
listening.